What you can see on your screen is known as a subtractive color wheel. It's also the color wheel you're most likely to be familiar with from grade school. We know that we've got some primary colors, which are the main colors making up this color wheel. No other colors can combine to make blue, red, or yellow, but they can be combined to make all the other colors on the color wheel. And those are our primary colors. When we combine our primaries together, we get our secondary colors. So if I combine my blue and my yellow, I get green. Blue and red, I get violet or purple, and red and yellow, I get orange. So the last ones left are tertiary colors, which means I've combined a primary with a secondary color, and the name is listed with the primary color first. So yellow-green, blue-green, red-violet, blue-violet, red-orange, and yellow-orange. So that is our basic color wheel. This is the color wheel we'll use when talking about CMYK or printing or painting. Anytime that it's actual physical ink going down on something, this is the color wheel we use. This color wheel was laid out essentially by Sir Isaac Newton, who discovered how a prism splits light into different colors, and it's been adapted since. Now, with the onset of television screens and computers, we actually have another color wheel that we will be referring to on occasion, and it is the additive color wheel. And you can see these colors are much brighter. The primaries on these are different than the other because on this subtractive color wheel, as we add all of the colors on this wheel together, we will eventually equal black. They just get darker and darker and add up to black so that the white is subtracted, which is why this is called a subtractive color wheel. On an additive color wheel, if we add all of our primaries and all of the colors together, we actually get white. And on our web page, there's a little tricolor that it shows that. This color wheel is actually set up to provide tints and tones. A tint is when we add white, a tone is when we add black to the color. So you can see the primaries aren't red, yellow, and blue. In fact, this time they're red, blue, and green, which means that our secondaries are different as well. So we've got a violet, a yellow, and a bright blue that gets called many different names. I'm calling it turquoise. The tertiary names, I'll let you figure those out. I'm not too concerned about those. Popping back over to the subtractive color wheel. So there are rules in color theory about how we can put together combinations of color to be pleasing to the eye. And it's sort of a mathematic thing. I'm an artist, so I don't tend to approach anything mathematically. So we're going to take a look at these from a visual standpoint. All right. So color schemes, like I said, is when you take multiple colors and put them together and they work well. A monochromatic color scheme is taking one color and either adding black or white to it and using only those colors in your color scheme. I'm going to hop over to the internet here and show you what a search for monochromatic color scheme shows up. So most of these are excellent examples where it really is just the one color used with black or white. The next color scheme we've got is analogous. Now analogous means that you've taken one main color and used the two wedges of the color wheel that are next to it to assemble your color scheme. Now when I say assemble color scheme, I mean essentially that you'll pick one main color and then you will also fill out the rest of these squares, say if we were doing a 5-step color scheme, with colors from the rest of this selection. But I'm not going to pick a color from anywhere else on the wheel than what's within these pie selections. And once I have them all selected, they're going to work together harmoniously. So that works as a pretty good color scheme. That's analogous. Complementary is taking one color and using the color directly opposite it on the color wheel. Now, the closer colors are together on a color wheel, the more harmonious they are and the less tension they cause. Complementary is as far away as you can get from each other on the color wheel, so it will have more energy and just a little more jazzed up to it depending on what shades of the color you use. Now you notice before I did mention tints and tones. As you come closer to the center of this wheel, the color gets darker. That's because black has been added to this yellow. In these two stripes we've got some white added, and those are tints, so tints, tones. And I can choose from any of these tints and tones to make up my color scheme. The next one is split complementary, and that's where you would take one color and then instead of using its complement, you use the colors on either side of the complementary color. The next we have is triadic. Triadic, the most common example of a triadic color scheme would be red, yellow, and blue, but you're using three colors that are equidistant from one another on the color scheme, or on the color wheel. You can see I've got three wedges between each of these. They're equal distances. So I guess technically a split complementary is triadic, but for our purposes we're going to call triadic this where they're equally distant from one another on the color scheme. So you don't have too many choices with these. You can either choose your primary, your secondary, or your tertiary to be your triadic. The last one gives you the most maneuverability as far as color schemes are concerned. So this is called a tetradic, also called a double complement. So you can see, like in this example, we've got purple and its complement yellow, and then we pick another set of complementary colors. So this is one example of a tetradic color. Because these are seating right next to each other on the color wheel, there'll be more harmony between these two. But we can also take tetradics and split them up and move them around the color wheel. So this is also a tetradic or a double complement color scheme, and so is this. So just depending on where you want to put that second set of complements gives you your color scheme. Now there's one last color scheme that is relatively new and still not overutilized out there. We've got a clash color scheme, which is similar to a complement, except you would use, instead of the one opposite it, the one next to the one opposite color. So let's say the main color here is purple and the clash color is orange. The examples I've found of these typically use it almost like a monochromatic color scheme with pretty much everything in just the one color with whites and blacks or tints and tones added, with a splash or two of whatever the brightest color of this clash is. So this is one you can play with. It's still developing, and I'm very excited to see if you use it at all. So those are the basic color schemes, and from those we can create any number of very harmonic colors that work well together, and you can apply this in so many different ways. In fact, you know what? Let me hop back over the internet and we'll take a look at a couple different things. So if I typed in complementary color scheme, at the top of my image search in Google, once I've clicked on images, it gives me options to see first the technical layout, but then I can take a look at art using a complementary color scheme. Red and green, that's one we're very familiar with. Orange and blue, which is my favorite complementary color scheme. Yellow and purple. Designers and decorators use this to great effect when creating spaces that work well together. Clothing assemblies, guys, even you can use this. You don't have to default to black. Girls tend to use this a lot, also in makeup. So there's plenty of examples of these color schemes being used out there. In our color resources page on our website, let me hop there real quick, is, let's see, color resources. Color. I believe there are some for putting together. Alright, here we go. Color Scheme Designer 3. So this is geared towards creating color schemes for websites, and it will show you examples of what the color scheme will actually look as a web page. So check out this Color Scheme Designer. Also check out some of these other options. My favorite on this is actually called Color. When we hop over to color, you can see here we've got our color wheel. This is actually the additive color wheel that we're looking at. But up here in the top left corner, I can say, well, show me what a complementary color scheme looks like. And here we've got our typical 5 colors, and I can adjust any of these down here by clicking and dragging on its little value. I can click and drag these circles as well, in or out, to change it. Once I find a color scheme that I like, I can upload it to the forum or even download it. I can also look at these values at the bottom, and I will go over how to use those values later, but just so you know they're there. My actual favorite thing to do is to look for the forum ones that everybody has posted. So here at the very top you can choose Explore, and these are color themes that other people have put together, and you can see just looking at them there's some colors you've seen in pop culture, in decorations, in clothing. I like to search by most popular. There's also, you know, kind of random generators, and you can browse through these and find great color schemes. For this assignment, we're going to use the color scheme, instead of one of these color scheme generators, we're going to use our good old color wheel. So let's go on to the next video to learn how to do that.